So, after playing Doki Literature Plus, I kind of want to curl up in bed, drink some hot chocolate, and not really leave. I think the only thing that could get me out of bed is our sponsor.
Sponsor of today's video is water. Makes up most of your body, is on most of the planet, is always fun on a hot day to play in. Get some today. Thanks, Water, for sponsoring this video.
Hey everyone, Magister Wilbur here. And I know you probably clicked on this because of the clickbait title, but it is actually true. This is a trigger warning. I'm going to give it to you right away because of this game, Doki Literature Club Plus. And it lives up to, this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. And again, trigger warning, trigger warning. I agree with that statement. I didn't know where it was going when it first appeared in the game, but I agree. And I will not show some of the graphic gameplay, especially if you have played this game and you're just looking for a video to talk about it. But this was part of my GameStop review series, and I haven't done one of those in a while. This is going to be the fourth one. And the whole point of the GameStop review was to pick out random games from GameStop that are reasonably priced, play the game, review it, and get me to play different sorts of games. I went into my local GameStop. I was browsing like I usually do, just looking at the covers. The manager comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, what are you looking for?" I explained, I'm a small-time YouTuber. I look at video games and tech. And I was doing this series where I walked into the GameStop, explained everything, and pick random games and, play them. And he immediately jumped for joy, grabbed this game, Doki Literature Club Plus. And he was excited to give it to me. He was excited that I would actually try it. I think he was trying to get people to pay for it for a long time. And at that time, I was just buying a bunch of random games. Said I'd play it, but, life gets in the way. Just like I have a stack of books, I have a stack of video games, and I finally got to it. And I didn't know why when I first turned it on. I didn't read any of the materials on the back, and I did that afterwards. But I didn't know why it had the warning that this game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. It looks like a cute game. It really does. Look at all the colors. It's pink. It's white. It just looks cute. Looking at the sprites, it's 4 girls in high school with a short skirts. That anime, manga. I'm not even speaking correctly. Is this English? Look very Sailor Moonish when they're in their school outfits. Did not see what was coming, and I'm glad I didn't read anything about it beforehand because this is a fun game. So let's start with the gameplay. It's text-based. You're not moving around. It's just cutscenes to different places based upon the story. And it is a lot of reading. It's basically reading a short story on screen with sprites that have various positions. I think they have 3 to 4 positions and two costume changes. And it really reads like a high school club. I walked in there as the only male, and I believe that's what it is for everything. I don't know if it switches based upon your Nintendo profile, but it's 4 attractive girls hitting on you, and I thought the warning was based upon kind of like the sexual innuendo, the cursing, the actual just sexual comments. I was like, okay, for an adult, yeah, that's fine. um, you can live with it. For younger people, probably not. And that was what I thought. I thought this was just like, okay, this is a game that probably offended people who just live a very, modest lifestyle. Don't really think that you need the warning beforehand until you do. And like I said, it's text based. The activities you do is you write poems, and you just have 20 words to choose, and whichever word you choose, one of the girls pops up because it makes her happy, and they read your poem and give you feedback. And so between the warning, what was being said in the text, and the gameplay, I just didn't understand why there would be a warning until I realized what was needed and where the story was going. And let's get into the story. Like I said, you are, at least for me, a male student. Your best friend, Sayori, comes and walks you and convinces you to join the literature club after school. And it's, to me, clear that she likes you. And the game is hinting that all these girls like you. And it was very awkward and weird. And the cutscenes kind of like, oh, okay, this is being kind of overly sexualized to a point that it was humorous. Like, it wasn't like titillating, it was just funny to me. And then comes a choice, because you gotta get ready for the big festival. You gotta choose who to work with, and it gives you two choices between two other characters, Nasuka and Yuri. It doesn't matter if you try to choose the other two girls, it's just going to make you choose one of those two. And of course, this upsets your friend. And then you realize why it had a warning. And I was like, okay, clearly she is your friend. Sayori is suffering from depression. She goes through it, and a very honest talk about what it's like to be depressed. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty good explanation. And at that point, I was feeling like, okay, I want a little bit of like the savior, like, don't do things to fully upset. Like, your friend just, opened up to you, and then, you go through and you can see little tidbits of like bad things that are happening to the other characters in their conversation. But then this game is so quick. It doesn't take long to play. And there's 3 scenarios you can go through. And the first scenario, I think I got through in like 4 hours. And it just drops a bomb on you. It drops a bomb on you. And I kind of don't want to ruin the surprise. But it was kind of like, oh shit, what the F just happened? Like, what is going on? Like, it doesn't really lead up to a lot of stuff. It's a very short game, and then boom, they just drop bomb after bomb after bomb. And after I finished the first scenario, I decided to finally read about it, seeing that it was actually a horror game. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's actually how I found out about the other different scenarios. There's one that I haven't been able to repeat or even get to, where it's actually a positive ending. But heed the warning that this game is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed. And it does deal, at least when talking about the real life problems that people face, like depression, malnutrition, hurting themselves. And if you can separate yourself from that, this is a very good game. It's very good. It's well designed. It looks simple, but once you start to realize what the game is, it's like, wow, this is pretty clever. There are parts in the game where the text goes on too long, and when I was streaming it, I was like going through the text and it just wouldn't stop. And there is a skip button, and after about 10 minutes of scrolling through text, I was like, let me hit the skip button. It probably would have taken me like 20 to 30 minutes to get through all the random text, and you'll see it when you get there if you play the game. Yeah, it was It was strange. It has very, like I said, this is very well designed. It like has, through the gameplay, closing the game, doing different things with the saves, messing with the files that need to be that you can reset. It's just completely, and it's kind of hard to figure it out. It makes you think because like I've never played a game that requires you to exit the game, do things in the game files, and then come back into the game to see what happens. And I'm pretty sure for the next scenarios, I have to delete my save game, start over. And it's just, it's well thought out, and I would suggest this, especially the Literature Plus one, because you get 6 new stories, you get bonus tracks, pictures, you get all this cool stuff, stickers, the soundtrack, little cutouts of the characters. It's a pretty solid pickup, and it was relatively cheap. When I do these, it's typically under $20. It was at that time. I don't know what the price is right now when you're watching this video, but yeah, I would pick it up. But heed that warning. It is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed. The graphics of the things that disturb you, like I said, not putting them up here, but it makes sense, especially how surprising it is, because like I said, it's a short game. It's a very, very short game, and then boom, that happens because there's not a lot of time. I think that the YouTuber that got me back into it was someone who commented on my Nintendo Switch collection videos, like, yeah, you gotta play that. It's very different, and it's gonna take you 5 hours to get through the first part of the gameplay, which leads you to resetting the game. Well, yeah, it didn't take that long at all. It really didn't. I think the first stream I did of it, I was spending more time adjusting my stream because I haven't done it in so long than actually really playing the game. And it's really brought me in, like, wondering, like, what other good horror games are there? Because, like, typically when I think of a horror game, it's like a jump scare, not really like, oh, we're gonna mess with you in various ways. So yeah, if you're into horror, if you're into the anime manga style artwork, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus, I would pick it up. I really would. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. I'm going to continue to drink my hot chocolate, play maybe a cozy game on my Switch over here. If you're here at the end of the video, you're an awesome person. Please like, subscribe, and get notifications. Until next time, I'm Magister Wilbur. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.